In this episode of Dr. Chess Adventures, we're going to talk about taking advantage of pens after, of course, we get our pieces set up. Trying to get a good setup here, and gotta be careful with castling kingside, could be a little dangerous. Alright, we're going to go in the attack now.
Kingside castling.
Now we can castle.
Kingside castling.
We want to keep our king safe. We're going to go on the offensive here. It gets a little complicated. Going to play queen to e5, and the reason for that is we're trying to mirror and take away the moves of the knight. We're also trying to threaten the knight. White pushes his pawn, we push the pawn, white pushes the pawn again. A little bit tricky here. Decided to capture with the knight. White captures with the knight. So white's up material. But we have one thing going for us right now. We're threatening checkmate. If white doesn't cover h2, it's game over. So white can do one of two things. It can move its knight, or it can move its pawn. It's going to end up doing both. It's going to start out with a knight. Okay? Now, unfortunately for white, after we take with the rook, if white takes,
checkmate,
it's game over. So white can't do that. White has to capture, not capture, and actually push the pawn forward. So we protect the rook. So now we're ahead material. Going to slide the queen over to, if you said c5, that's correct. Is it the best play? I don't know. I think it is. Try it well until they play the bishop up. So now we got to move our queen back. Now we got to move our queen back again. White smartly leverages this right here. If, we take, that's not good for us. So, got to move the queen. You're going to take a piece. Got to back up now. Got to back up again. But again, we're threatening. This isn't mate, but we're threatening to take f2. Okay, white goes on the attack. We take, because that, well, got to watch out for the lateral action there. Lateral action is very powerful with, queens and even rooks, but queens can be very strong with lateral action.
Check.
That's why they have a lot of value. Thought about capturing the rook.
Check.
Decided not to. Decided instead just to back the king up to h8. Idea here is to get the other rook to f8 and threaten an attack. Now, keep in mind that even though the pawn is pushed, our knight is not under threat because the king is pinned. But we're going to move the knight anyway because we want to set something up. Our knight's going to have more value in the middle than it is on the side. Here's a big mistake by white. Remember we said g4 is pinned? Well, it's still pinned. That means we can take with the rook, and we're fine. Okay? In this spot, thought about taking here and going on the offensive. Maybe it's better, maybe it's not. It's probably, well, it might be better actually with the stuff here. Instead, ended up going with the rook to d5. Probably not as good of a move there, especially after white brings in the queen. But we compensate for it. We get the queen. We pull the knight back to the safe h5 square, leaving our rook exposed, but not exposed because it's guarded by the bishop.
Check.
And white realizes this after making a capture because there is, there is a time clock for each move. So white decides to resign at that point. And that's it.